Hey guys! Welcome to the third part of Depression Self-Help. If you haven't seen the other two videos that were before this one, they're all linked in the description below. There's two links for that. You can go click those. Please watch those first, because this is the third one in the series, and obviously it's not going to make a lot of sense if you haven't seen the other two. So today's video is about relationships. I'm just going to be giving a couple of just sort of general tips on how to improve your relationships in general. I think tip number one is really to just know yourself. If you know that you have depression, but you've never told this to anyone else, it's going to be hard for people to understand what's wrong with you, why you're so distant, why you're not talking much, why you just seem really unhappy. Tell people you have depression. I know it's hard. I know it's not something you want to do. It's something that most people hide for years before they ever come out and say anything about it. But it will only get better once you start talking about it, once you first admit that you have depression, and then talk to people around you, your family members, your closest friends, everyone around you, and explain this to them. And then these people around you will be able to help you. Now, kind of with this, another tip is always to listen to others. Don't just talk about yourself. Make sure you leave space for all the other people that you're with. If you're with your friend, make sure you leave some space for her. Make sure you know what she's doing. Take some time to just stop talking completely, not open your mouth, and just sit there and listen to the other person talking. This will really improve your relationships. It will make other people feel like they're more wanted, more needed, and like you're really there for them and you're really listening and trying to understand what their problems are, what they're doing. Now, when you talk to people, listen to people and all this, you need to understand that you are a very unique person. Every single human being is completely unique. Your ideas are going to be completely unique. Everything that you have is going to be unique. There are no two people on the planet that are exactly 100% the same in what they believe, what they think, how they are, and just all that. So you need to be open to other opinions. You need to be able, not necessarily to agree with someone about something, but you need to be able to respect other people's ideas, other people's opinions. Now, the most important key, and this is what I think most people do this, I think, actually, is to nourish your relationship. You can't just expect the other person to do everything you want and just be there for you all the time and you never give anything in return. You need to go out sometimes to places that you don't necessarily like. You don't like shopping, but this person likes to go shopping. You're gonna have to go shopping with them a couple of times. You're gonna have to go to this movie that you don't really want to see, but this person really wants to see. You'll find that people will start doing the same for you too. Like, your friends will start to want to do more things that you want to do too. You'll be able to find like a balance in your relationship. Another thing too is to be prepared to deal with conflict, disagreements, fights, and stuff like that. It is not possible to have a relationship with someone where you are never going to fight. Because like I just said before, there are no two people that are exactly the same. So, and I'm pretty sure that even to like a clone of the exact same person, you would probably still find some way to get into a fight with that person. So no, it's not possible. Everyone's different. There's gonna be conflict. You have to be able to deal with conflict. You can't expect to just have all your friends, all your family members, and anyone you're ever gonna date never get into a fight with you, because it is not possible. This is not how life works. I really hope I'm not teaching you something that you don't already know at this point, but if you didn't, be prepared to deal with conflict and not just assume that you can cry your way out of any situation you're in, because that's not how life works. Good ways to sort of help prevent fights, make them smaller, better, and then help sort of heal any conflict or any problems you have is, like I mentioned before, listen. Make sure that you're listening to the other person. Make sure that you're not interrupting them all the time. Make sure that this person does the same thing for you. If this person that you're with is just talking and talking and screaming at you and not letting you talk, you're going to need to let them wind down. You're going to need to give them some time and then talk about it again when you're both calmed down, and make time to both listen to each other's side of the story or the argument or whatever it is you're fighting about or whatever conflict you're in. And then from there, you can usually resolve stuff. Tell the person, okay, you have 20 minutes to explain to me everything. Talk to me, explain to me your side of the story, and then you have to give me 20 minutes where I can explain my side of the story. I can tell you what I think about what it is you're talking about, and I can explain to you without interrupting me. A good way to avoid conflicting stuff is also to not let stuff like accumulate. Don't let little details that you don't really like about the other person or something they're doing get to you after a while. Just as soon as something comes up that you're questionable about or not sure, clear it up right away. Don't let a bunch of little things pile up and then all of a sudden it's too much and you explode and it's 50 things are wrong with the other person all at the same time, because that's usually how things end. Finally, in these arguments, the most important thing is to compromise. And this is in general in relationships. You cannot have a relationship where you're the king or the queen. You're gonna have to make compromises. You cannot be a superior in every way to the other person that you're, whether it's your family members, your friends, again, it's not just like your significant other, it's just anyone that you're with, but you are not the king or queen of it. You are not the one that makes all the decisions. You have to make compromise. Now, finally, we're gonna get to the part about ending relationships. Sometimes there's gonna be a point where you're gonna have to end a relationship. Now, I can't just give you some magic, like, mathematical formula right now saying, like, okay, this plus this means you cannot be with this person anymore. You have to know where your limits are. Like, okay, he really hates, like, my favorite book, or she really hates someone that I really like, or something like that. Can I be with this person as a friend or not, or is this too much? Like, where is your too much at? If you come to a limit, and this person just exceeds that limit and you cannot do it anymore, then usually that's a relationship break. You're gonna have to end a relationship with the person. Another breaker usually in relationships is abuse. This is usually, and this is important because now we're coming back to depression. Abuse is usually something that will, if not create depression, definitely make it worse. There's different kinds of abuse. There's physical abuse, there's emotional abuse, there's all kinds of sort of forms of abuse. And sometimes it's very hard to realize that you're actually in a form of abusive relationship. Now, sometimes abusive relationships can be not just with a significant other or like a family member. Sometimes it can also be your friends that are emotionally abusing you or something like that. It's hard to identify this. Usually physical abuse is the easier one to identify. Like if someone is hitting you or beating you, or not even, it doesn't even necessarily to be particularly violent for it to be considered physical abuse either. In those cases, it's very easy in general to go to the police, or if you don't want to go to the police, a lot of people don't want to go to the police. There's usually you can usually find online places that will help you, like shelters for women or men, and just all kinds of places like that where you can go and just be there, and these people will help take care of you, help you with any kind of legal action you need to take, or just anything like that. Please seek help if you think that you are in a physically abusive relationship. Now, if you are in an emotional abusive relationship, it's also important to get out of it as quickly as you can, or try and mend things. Sometimes the person doesn't realize what they're doing. This is pretty typical in depression. You won't realize that you're just really sort of being paranoid and really not listening to the other person and just forcing the other person to do a lot of things that they don't necessarily want to do, and the relationship becomes really imbalanced in your favor. It's important to talk to the person, tell them that you feel like they are emotionally abusing you, and that you need this, and that either you fix things or you're gonna have to end the relationship with the person. It can be friends. Some friends can do this. They can be very possessive of you. It's up to you. Find your limits. Know when a relationship with even a friend or a family member, or brother or sister or something is just too much. Either seek professional help for it, try to mend it on your own, or sometimes it's just better to, not talk to the person anymore. That's the end of this video. I hope you guys liked it. Since these videos didn't get a lot of views, I'm probably not going to make any more self-help type videos, because I could have made a bunch of them on like all kinds of different topics. I was thinking people could leave me comments if they wanted, but my last two videos didn't get a lot of hits. I don't think this one probably will either. But if you are interested in some topic, or you want me to talk about something, please let me know. Please leave me comments. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. There will be a new video next week. I'm not sure about what yet. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please subscribe and thumbs up if you liked the video and to see more. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.